Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this in one go, therefore if I stumble over my words going forwards, I apologise in advance. And if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well, I do apologise for that too. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it can't be helped, and hopefully it's not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision Song Contest related video here on my channel, one that I am filming completely on a whim. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video yet, but I just want to talk about the fact that there has been some recent news, and by recent I mean as I'm recording this within the past 10 minutes, regarding the decision on the format for Eurovision 2021, which is scheduled to take place this May at the Ahoy in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Now, the reason that there has to be this important decision made is because we are still, sadly, in the midst of a global pandemic. The situation in Europe is not looking too great at the moment. As I'm recording this, the British Prime Minister is making a televised speech this evening. Heaven knows what he's going to say this time. As somebody who works in a school, it is of great importance to me to know what's happening next. And let's just say today was a very nervous time indeed. I'm reading an article here that's on eurovoix.com. So these words are not mine, they are the words of Anthony Granger, all credit to him. And it says right here, the decision on the scenario under which the Eurovision Song Contest 2021 will take place will be made in 4 to 5 weeks. So we can expect, probably by the first week of February, what Eurovision 2021 is going to look like. My personal opinion, we are not going to have a Eurovision in the way that we all know and love, the Eurovision format that we are used to. I don't think, in all honesty, we're going to get a Eurovision with any sort of crowd, which is a great shame, but needs must. It says here, Sietse Bakker, the executive producer of this year's contest, has tweeted that a decision will be made regarding the scenario under which this year's contest will take place will be made in about a month's time. 4 different scenarios were outlined by the European Broadcasting Union last September regarding how Eurovision 2021 could be held, ranging from fully remote to an in-person contest with a live audience. Scenario A, I'm sure we're all very much familiar with these scenarios now. Scenario A is a Eurovision as normal, but this is dependent on a rollout of a vaccine and the availability of testing. I've absolutely no idea, maybe you can put a comment down below letting me know. I've no idea what the situation is really like in the Netherlands at the moment. Of course, that is the key nation here. I don't know if they've started having the vaccine. I know several European countries have. I really don't have much of a clue, I'll be totally honest with you, but I will do my research off camera and find out a little bit more for future videos. Scenario B is a Eurovision in which everybody would be at least 1.5 meters away from one another at all times. All of the shows would be in Rotterdam, but a reduced audience would be allowed in. So really, I don't know how many thousands of people there would be for Eurovision as normal. The Ahoy is a pretty big venue. You've got to be looking at maybe close to 15,000 fans, somewhere in that region, if Eurovision goes ahead as normal. Half of that, well, let's just say maybe 5,000-6,000 people. That's still a reasonable amount, and that's still a lot more than what we got in the early years of the contest. I mean, right up until the turn of the century, we weren't really getting fans at Eurovision over 5,000 or 6,000. But anyway, it says here, the number of people in each delegation and the number of press would be limited. I don't think that's too bad, because yes, the press wouldn't be there to see the rehearsals in person, but there's so much information online anyway that they maybe wouldn't be missing out on too much. I don't really know. Should the audience size be restricted, a new draw would be held to decide who out of the current ticket holders can attend the shows. I think that would be a bit controversial myself, but we will see. I'd love to go to Eurovision. I was hoping to go in 2020. I'm hoping to go this year, potentially, but it's not looking great, let's be honest. Scenario C is a socially distant Eurovision with the shows live from the Netherlands with a limited audience. If travel restrictions are in place, delegations unable to travel would be recorded in their home country. But what if one of those artists gets the virus days before their performance is due to be recorded? What happens then? Will they have to record it at a later date? What if it's too late to do so? What if a member of the delegation gets it? Will they be staying in bubbles? Blah, 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 blah. there's this ripple effect. If travel I've read that bit out. All performances would then be showed with a mix of live performances from acts in Rotterdam and those in their home country. I don't like this scenario very much. It means that those performances live from the venue, would they be at an advantage? I don't really know. If you have, let's say, the Dutch entry being performed in Rotterdam sort of as normal next May, but then you've got the Moldovan entry being performed from a studio in, you know, their homeland, how's that going to look compared to what might be a slightly more polished version, let's be honest, in Rotterdam? I really don't know. These are questions that would have to be raised moving forwards, and I'm sure the delegations are doing so. Scenario D is Eurovision would be held in a similar setup to Junior Eurovision 2020. I hope this doesn't happen, but it's starting to look as though it's a real possibility, which last summer, all of us were probably thinking, nah, Scenario D is not going to happen, we'll be sorted by then, but actually we're not sorted, and there's still a long way to go. We've got to be realistic about it. Scenario D is a real possibility. So in a month's time, we will know. Sietse Bakker here has put a tweet up about Eurovision, from the looks of it. An article from a Dutch newspaper, Voorpret om potentieel feestjaar. My Dutch is not the best, as you can probably tell there. But anyway, you can take a look at his tweet, and you can take a look at the Eurovoix.com article as well. Another thing, a few artists from the Lithuanian selection have withdrawn. The latest one being Evelina Sashenko, who represented her country in 2011 in Dusseldorf. Now, I don't know whether she's withdrawn because of the virus, or because she's just not comfortable, or for another reason entirely. I will do my research off camera. In fact, you probably know, watching this video right now, what the reason is. But this is something that might happen moving forwards. We might get artists, or family members of artists, contracting the virus, and therefore they can't compete, can't sing. Like I said, there is a ripple effect here, and it is concerning. So that's really all I've got to say in this video. It would be nice to get some sort of dialogue going in the comments. What are your thoughts on this at this very crucial stage? We're only 4 days into the year, but already we have to start thinking about the possibility of a Eurovision that really doesn't feel like Eurovision. Do you think we will have a crowd? If we don't have a crowd, will you be as invested in the contest, even if you've been a fan for 2 decades or more? I mean, I've been a fan, a proper fan, shall we say, for, yeah, close to 2 decades. If Eurovision goes ahead in the same format as Junior Eurovision last year, I will be honest with you, I just might not be as interested. I'll watch it, I'll enjoy it, but it just won't feel the same. And of course it won't feel the same. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, until next time, I really don't have much more to add, but do let me know your thoughts. If you are Dutch, what's the situation like over there? Is it improving? Is it not improving? And obviously in Rotterdam, what is the situation like? What's the Dutch government saying? Maybe you live next door in Belgium. What's the situation like there? And what about Australia? Do you really think Montaigne is going to fly from Australia to Rotterdam in May if the situation is still in May as it currently is now? I don't think so. So that's obviously something to consider. Maybe, you know, if things do improve slightly, Hooverphonic can travel, and Jean-Guy McCroy will be fine, of course, and maybe whoever represents Denmark can just move south a bit, and Germany, whoop, over the border. But if you're from further afield, bigger questions will be raised. It's all up in the air at the moment, with jobs, with sporting events, with cultural events. Oh, dearie me. But needs must, as I said earlier. Now I'm going to shut up because I've had enough. Until next time, take care of yourselves. And do feel free to leave comments. Check out my other social media pages in the description below as well. And this will be my last video until there's some more Eurovision 2021 related news, I guess. Take care. Bye for now.